Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Meta High School Esports for another Thursday afternoon full of Rocket League action. My name's Chrissy Average. Pleasure to join you as always. And this week I'm being joined once again by Mr. Max Formal, or Max, whatever you want to be called by. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, I'm good. I don't care what I'm called by, although I do want to bring to attention to everyone that, yes, this is the same casting duo as last night. No, we have not left our respective studios. Yes, we are trapped here, possibly against our will. I'll leave that for you guys to decide, but I'm still keen for some high school Rocket League.
Yes, we are, and once again it's a return of the boys from Mount Albert Grammar School, third week in a row for this Imperial squad, taking on Westlake, or Red, which is not the same Westlake as the squad we saw in week 3. This is the alternative squad, but in saying that, not bad players.
No, I mean, not bad players at all. I mean, there are some big names, not just in this meta scene, but like throughout the whole Oceanic Rocket League scene, specifically the amateur scene as well. In this, I mean, Apple Crash, it's a pretty well-known name for those in the know. He is someone who I'm going to be looking to step up. Darth Druby is another player who has been doing quite well on this Mount Albert side. And Westlake, they have some strong players as well with their other side. I don't know too much about Westlake Red, but I'm excited to learn. And if they're as good as their sister team from the same school, well, this is going to be a great series.
Well, they're currently 3-1 in the New Zealand standings, the same as Westlake's, as time goes down, and we are off with the game here as I'm actually in game. What the hell?
Oh, hello, Chris. I see you might be playing at the moment.
It's odd. I play spectator and it logs me in. Okay, you take over, Max.
Yep, no worries. We're just going to probably have a little restart with that one, as all the players are going to be jumping out. The lobby will have to be remade. It happens. Look, fun story, actually. Last weekend during the Iberian League, we ran into a glitch I had never seen before, where not only did all the players instantly spawn, but so did the casters and the producer and everyone spectating, as well as 4 bots. There was about 15 cars on the pitch when we spawned in, so...
That is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that one was your fault. I've seen much crazier things happen, so no fret right there. We're just going to make sure things do get going correctly. It's going to be a quick remake, as unfortunately not everyone apparently had left the lobby, so we're going to have to try that again before we go through. It's always fun seeing a ball rolling around on its own. However, yeah, Albert versus Westlake. Look, I know Westlake did win the last battle between these, but it was the other Westlake side. And yes, this Westlake is 3-1, but if I'm going to be picking a favorite in this, I tend to go for the known quantity, which is Mount Albert. So I am more leaning towards the Mount Albert side today.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, they obviously have the quality players, so it's obvious to go for them. Saying that though, with Westlake Red being on 3-1, they've obviously done something right to be at this point. So I think they could at least give Mount Albert a nice run for their money, but I do have to tend to agree with you. My money would have to be with the Mount Albert boys once again, as it has been for the past few weeks. So
yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it stands with Mount Albert. Now, that said, there is ways to beat Mount Albert. Don't get me wrong. They are super strong, but again, this is kind of high school Rocket League, and they rely a lot on the solo plays and solo pushes to go down the pitch. In response, there's 2 ways to approach this. You can either try to challenge them head on. I do not like this. If you feel you are equal to them in skill, then by all means go for those tough 50-50s. But it's a lot of times a lot easier to go for deeper rotations against teams that like to solo, just so you have that back line secured and then look to push through, maybe with a pass up to the middle of the pitch. So don't feel the need to challenge everything. Just keep defensive rotations, keep track of the ball, make that important touch, and then look to get that booming clear. I think that's what Westlake Red is going to have to do in this one.
Yeah, that's probably one of the big problems you normally see with teams that are going on to take on like the harder sort of squads. They do get maybe a little bit aggressive, especially if they get an early lead, and well, they just quickly fall apart because the defense has gone. But yeah, it will be interesting to see how this game unfolds. I've also made sure that this time, as soon as I've joined the lobby, to hit spectator, so I'm definitely not in the game this time around. We can confirm that at the very least.
Yeah, that will be good. And then when you get like pulled from the spectating void out of the crowd and onto the pitch, well, we will know who to blame exactly. That'd be great if you just see like a claw, almost just like reach out and grab one of those eggs and just pull them inside the cage, and then it turns into the car, and all of a sudden you're forced to play. I don't know what mode that would be, but it would be a mix of kind of cool and absolutely horrifying.
Yeah, it would be very horrifying. I'm just looking at chat very quickly. Someone's asking where these two teams are ranked. They're both currently 3-1, so they're tied second.
Yeah, and if
Which,
we're
yeah,
talking individual ranks as well, a mix of high diamond to GC, I would say would be is
yeah,
what I'm expecting in this. I can't tell you specifically where these players are at, but this will be on the higher spectrum of Rocket League. I am expecting consistent touches of the balls. I am expecting that odd aerial play, maybe even something crazy out of an Apple Crash or a Darth Druby. So expectations should be high. Not RLCS level high. Again, these are high school students, so they are growing, they are improving. These could be your future pros in a year or two. So
yeah, you
definitely
never
fun
know.
to watch.
Yeah, definitely someone like Apple Crash definitely fits that billing quite nicely. You never know, we might see him in RLCS
Mm.
soon enough. But anyways, we should be ready to go in a few moments' time here. The players are rejoining the lobby. The casters and our producer are safely in the spectator slots as we head down to the countdown. Welcome back to Rocket League, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And to quote Mario Walker, it's go, go, go. And it's going to be Noom getting the early touch here. Listic trying his best to get an early opportunity. Won't be able to, but Subi keeping the pressure up here. But now Apple Crash gets opportunity to clear out. Won't be able to. Noom tries to keep the attacking pressure going, but after Ruby will eventually force the early reset here. But it's good work here from the Westlake Red Squad here as they are forcing the issue quite nicely. Subi with a decent shot, but it just goes a little bit too wide.
Okay, so something that I'm noticing right away is Neum as well as Subi are kind of following my advice. They're going for the deeper rotations. Lystic, on the other hand, he's been the one who's been cheating forward, and he's actually been caught out in no man's land a couple times already in this game. I think if Westlake is going to have continued success, all three of them are going to have to be on that same deep rotation page.
Definitely will have to be here. It's after Ruby tries to set something up here of Arky's work in the midfield, but the ball will just slowly drift backwards. Gives Listy opportunity, but everyone misses, and Arky has a free shot at goal. Subi has made a 50 chance, but he can't even get the touch. Arky with the first.
Very unfortunate misstep from Subi right there. He had the time to make that play. It was a good corner post defense, just completely overshoots the ball. And if you miss a situation like that in the 1v1, it's going to be a goal every time. Fantastic aerial dribble, by the way, coming from the Mount Albert side, and a well-deserved 1-0 lead.
Yeah, good work from Arky to get the shot in from downtown. Controls the ball and obviously baits out Suki as well, as you did point out, Max. This is probably what we were expecting, though, for the first game here. We didn't know too much about Westlake Red, but they're doing well for themselves right now. They're doing what we expect them to do here. Although, can they keep it up? That will be the main question. As Arky looks for a second opportunity, won't be able to get a Suki able to delay that opportunity this time around after Uri. Going for a tough shot, but won't be able to connect. And now Apple Crash doing what he loves to do best here, just force the issue in the corner, try and find an opening for his team, as he will get the demo play here. Druby goes up, he gets a good touch, sets it up for Arky, but Listic is able to just get it onto the crossbar, and his teammate in Noom will clear it out. And for Westlake, they get a counter opportunity, but Arky is able to stop it in the bud.
Yeah, so something that I'm really liking from Mount Albert, it's almost the exact opposite, as Arky nearly puts another one in right there. It's almost the exact opposite of Westlake, though. They are confident, they are fast enough to go for those tight rotations, especially on offense, and they're really challenging Westlake in how they're trying to clear the ball down the pitch. Now, through the middle, exactly is what Arky did. That's what I want to see more from Westlake as well, because if they play this corner game, Mount Albert is just that little bit too fast for them. Shot by Arky down the middle will be saved by Listic.
Very good save there by Alessia. Subi goes up as well. Yeah, they're trying to do something in the corners, but it's not really working out for him for now, especially with Mount Albert's propensity, really, to go for demo plays. Corner plays might not be the answer, as Apple Crash gets gifted the ball in the right place at the right time. Darth Druby, the perfect setup, and will be Mount Albert heading on to 2.
Yeah, and this is the threat of the tight rotation when on offense and trying to defend it. Not only do you have to be cautious of players in the box, but it also means when you make those defensive touches, you really have to bang that ball far, because there's going to be someone there ready to capitalize on it. Apple Crash tends to be that player for Mount Albert. He loves those tight corner rotations. He loves trying to punish inopportune defensive touches. And if this continues, we could see Mount Albert start to pull away from it. That said, Subi with that chance, great shot, but Apple Crash, an even better save.
What a save there from Apple Crash. You also can't discount Darth Druby as well. He is definitely the gears in this team. He has set up a massive amount of goals. And just like the one we saw with Apple Crash a few moments ago, he's probably going to set up a few more as well as we get through today's game. Now, Apple Crash looking for an opportunity, but Listic's able to take the ball from underneath, gets a demo onto Arky as well. This could be good news for him. It's Listic. It's on the right spot, though. Will force a quick reset here as the ball's drifting very, very heinously here. And Starfruby gets it, touches an open. Now, Arky says, thank you very much, and just chips it in for a third.
I mean, there was a swarm happening in the Westlake box that entire time. They just could not get the Mount Albert cars away. They were trying to bump, they were trying to demo, they were trying to do everything, but like glue, Mount Albert was sticking around, and when that ball fell into that dangerous position, unfortunately, Westlake did not get the solid defensive touch that he needed, and Mount Albert was there to capitalize. Great goal for the blue side.
Very, very good goal here for Mount Albert as Listic tries to claw at least one back in. Noom has the opportunity to do so, though, and is able to sneak it in to the top near corner. Good play there from Listic, actually, just to get the pinch onto the corner to set things up. And Noom just has to go, thank you very much, slots it in, and bam, it's going to be Westlake's finally on the board.
Can I just say Noom in my Subaru is probably a mix between my favorite and my least favorite name I have ever seen. I love it. I want him to do well. I'm a little bit disappointed that he's using an Octane and not a car that looks more akin to a Subaru WRX. That's Gen 1! That was a absolute lob of a shot straight over the top and in 4-1 for Mount Albert.
Yeah, Apple Crash doing his best Kobe Bryant impersonation now. Just lobs it on top of the poor defender, and there's nothing but net behind. It's a beautiful play there from Apple Crash. Arky gets a good setup as well for kickoff, but Apple Crash just a little bit too late to the party this time around. But this could be another goal. No, Listic actually interrupts. That might be it. The play that ends their hopes of winning game one here, though they're already in a tough spot. 3 goals now, 50 seconds remaining. But yeah, they've been trying their best, but they kept being found out mostly by Apple Crash and Darth-Druby. But in saying that, Arky as well, he's been doing a fair bit of good work in those corners.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I'm going to be picking an MVP of this game, I'm still leaning towards Apple Crash. To be perfectly frank, Darth-Druby, he hasn't done much, but he hasn't had to do much. He's usually that third man actually on the team who kind of bangs it through at that last minute. Apple Crash, though, has been doing so well with a lot of times on the offense with those tight corner plays that he's been sort of working mostly with Arky and setting up a lot of the goals. Darth-Druby might get a bit more involved later into this, especially if Westlake starts to adapt their playstyle, but game number 1 was pretty much all Apple Crash. He's been getting the best clears. He's been the one putting a lot of that offensive pressure on with his second touch a lot of the time. So a fantastic performance from Mount Albert. Really all 3 players did step up, and they're going to take game 1 very comfortably.
Very comfortably indeed here as Apple Crash probably won't get his brace, although there's an opportunity for it here. He's just going to set up Listigo, lobs it up here as they look for a consolation, but Darth-Druby will actually lob it to his teammate, but eventually ball will hit the ground and game 1 will go to Westlakes. But yeah, that was the Apple Crash show. There's no other way of putting it, really. He was just doing what he had to do, and he did it pretty darn well, Max.
Yeah, he was absolutely phenomenal in that game. Just taking a look at some of the stats up on the screen right there. The 6 shots from Arky usually would be from an Apple Crash touch in the corner. Arky would be able to follow through, put something on target, then off of that rebound, kabam, someone would get one in. 3 assists to Darth-Druby, though. He was definitely doing his part. It was a great game. Great opening game right there for Mount Albert. That said, Westlake, they don't look terrible. Or in fact, they still look very competitive, by the way. Nice little Bluebirds icon, by the way, for Subi right there. Love to see things like that. Shout out to the amateur scene. But furthermore, with Westlake, the thing that was really holding them back, I think more so than anything else, was just a couple inopportune whiffs at 4 moments. They definitely can still be in this game. I think they're matching the speed actually quite well for Mount Albert. A lot of times when that ball's in no man's land, Westlake has been there just as often as been Mount Albert. It's just been a couple whiffs, especially with the aerials. So just needs to calm it down a bit, make contact with the ball, and start building from there. Westlake can fight back in this, but right now Apple Crash is playing at another level.
Definitely is. He did that last week as well against, I believe, Taranga. So, yeah, it was Taranga. So it's good to see him keep up the pressure as we're already in it to game 2 here. It looks like a decent enough start for Westlakes at the moment, but Darth-Druby will be able to eventually pick up the ball in midfield. Subi trying his best to keep things forward, but look who's here. Apple Crash trying to set something up, but can only hem it in to the far corner. Now Listic taking it from end to end here. Ball's just rolling in front. Nice little bump there from Listic, but Noom is forced to go back onto defense here. So Apple Crash with another 50-50 opportunity. Can he get the second? No, he can't. Will eventually be beaten out by Subi, but this is another good opportunity for Mount Albert, but they just can't connect with the final touch.
The craziest thing about that solo play by Apple Crash right there was he did that all with no boost. Now, that was impressive at all, but even the play before that, the one by Listic to go the distance as well, where he was actually outspeeding Apple Crash and causing him to use all of his boost, was equally impressive as well. I'm actually quite surprised neither of those plays did result in a goal in this instance. A very even game number 2 right now as we kind of start to play a bit of ping pong.
Yeah, a bit of ping pong coming on to the Rocket League field here, and yeah, very unfortunate not to see an early goal here, but as we go past the first 70 seconds, still tied at 0-0 here. Arky with a nice enough shot at Noom, an easy save for him, just has to push it into the corner. Subi trying to move things out, will be disrupted by Daft Drury, but just not enough for a full reset here. Listic pops it up here. Can he get the second touch? Tries it a demo, will miss on Arky, however. And once again, the ball's just going back and forth until Arky can set something up here. Daft Ruby in the danger zone, but well played by Zubi just to push the ball out. Now Apple Crash forced to go back on defense. That's something we haven't really pointed out just yet. Apple Crash in defense has been very, very strong as well today as Noob tries to force something forward here. Ball going in front of the net, but Apple Crash is able to punt it away.
No, absolutely agree. Apple Crash on defense has been doing exceptionally well, specifically with where he places the ball off of his touch. I'll say it time and time again. Defense is not all about making saves. It's also about scoring when opportunities present themselves. Waterfall setup into Apple Cross, breaks our 0-0 deadlock, 1-0 in favor of Mount Albert.
They've set it up a few times, but only now were the players in position. Apple Crash just waiting at the halfway line, getting his boost, sees where the ball's going and is going, oh yeah, I'll have a bit of that, and just easily chips it in. So the early lead over to the boys from Mount Albert, but doesn't matter as Subi just lolls one in from midfield. Now that's a shot off the wall.
That is. I want to watch this one again. It almost looked like it was an own goal off of Apple Crash's car.
Oh.
A disaster right there. I wasn't sure if it was the crossbar or Apple Crash, but no, it was Apple Crash trying to push the ball into the corner, just gets an awkward touch on it. And now Newman, my Subaru, was looking to get a second goal. Subi with the fall through, doesn't connect on the ball. And again, missing opportunities has been what's holding Westlake back.
Yeah, the opportunities have been few and far between, but when Apple Crash given, Apple Crash taken away, you make sure you get everything that he giveth. So we're tied up here at the halfway point as Apple Crash looks to try and make amends. We'll be in a 50-50 against Listic, but Listic reads that perfectly. It's over to Subi as well, who gets demoed for his troubles. And now the ball in a good spot here for Westlake, especially for Noon, but he just can't get the touch. We'll get demoed as well here as Subi now goes up. So maybe a drop play here, but runs out of boost. Apple Crash is able to seal the ball away as well. Gets another 50-50 touch here, and he has an open net. Listic comes in, but it's a bit too late. Apple Crash able to punch it through.
Okay, that was a great counterattack off of the misplay by Subi. I'm not really too sure what Subi's plan was right there, going for the dribble before. Look, yes, you can go for those flash plays, but there's time and context for it. A lot of times those flash plays are actually used to like sort of juke out and beat defenders, but no one was moving forward to challenge Subi, so he really did need to spend all of his boost right there, and then he loses it for the upcoming challenge. Apple Crash gets possession and just muscles his way through. And now Arky, a late flick, that's gonna go in, and Mount Albert, they're just starting to have fun with this series right now.
Yeah, look like they are enjoying themselves here. It's just look at this. He's being pressured behind. He sees a Noob in front and he just goes, all right, I'll just chip on top. Noob doesn't read it. And yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles there in the third. And this is looking very, very good for Mount Albert as they look to try and get revenge against at least one Westlake squad as Arky just pops in another one, just like that. Quickly gets a twofer for himself.
And now is that wonderful time of a series when I start talking about mentality in Rocket League, especially in evenly matched games. Rocket League, as much as a mental game as it is a mechanical game, and the better teams are the ones that are able to hold on and size kind of tough and resolute. Now, the situation right now, Westlake, it does kind of look like they're starting to fall apart, especially on the
True
pinch goes in.
That's a goal of the week right there.
Yeah, that was absolutely disgusting. Just the pinch executed very well. Not quite as hard as it could have been, but definitely accurate. That goes straight into the goal. And that is why Darth Druby, been kind of quiet today, is a player you need to watch out for.
Yeah, he's always supporting role player, but when he gets his opportunity, by gee, he can get a goal if he needs. Yeah, but yeah, if anyone's looking for a goal of the week clip right there for anything, you can definitely put that into consideration because that was a beautiful goal from Darth Drury. Anyways, 5-1 now. Westlake not in this game for a fair while, but yeah, they've just fallen apart here. It's very unfortunate to see because of the first 2 minutes, they were pretty much in this game. They were tied up at 1-1, but Apple Crash things happened and well, it's just been all downhill from there.
Yeah, it's just been an unfortunate turn of events, but that's okay. The thing about Rocket League, and the point I was trying to get to before Darth Druby, spiked my hopes and dreams of that segment, it's easier to lose in a game like this than it is to lose in, a 4-minute overtime tight game. It's easier to reset your mental. It's easier to bounce back. And when you're going to be put into a reverse sweep situation, you want to be as calm, as relaxed as possible. Put these 2 games behind you. Start looking forward. The climb back will start in 38 seconds, not right now. So it's okay if the scores run up against them. A lot of Rocket League players have this sort of mentality, and I do believe Westlake, to get to as skilled as they are, they will have something similar as well.
Yeah, we'll be hoping that they can lift in the third because from what we've seen so far, they definitely can be at that same level as Mount Albert as Apple Crash goes for his first brace of the afternoon. Won't be able to get it just yet. Arky with a chance as well, but Ballistic able to read that play perfectly now. Subi tries to send one in from midfield, but will be well wide of the mark here. But as time ticks down, they will need a reverse sweep now to try and pick up what is effectively an unbelievable upset here as they will fall 5-1 as Apple Crash just says no consolation for you. And yeah, this looks like the Mount Albert show at the moment, but Westlake, they definitely can come back.
Yeah, definitely Westlake can, but the big issue, and the player who I kind of feel is the X factor in this, yes, Apple Crash is amazing. We're seeing him do crazy things, but I'm actually looking at Arky right now. When you think Mount Albert, you think Apple Crash, you think Darth Druby. One sec. Oh, pardon me. But Arky is kind of a player. Yeah, I'm fine. Arky is kind of that player who has been silent in the past, but as you can sort of see, in the in-between, right? Season 11 Grand Champ, he's right up there. And the touches he's putting on the ball consistently, yes, he doesn't go for the flashy plays. He's not doing anything, freestyling. But he's just playing solid, consistent, strong Rocket League right now and really acting as a great enabler for the likes of Apple Crash. Darth Druby, when he got his big play, he did that all himself. That was absolutely phenomenal. I'm not taking anything away from that ground pinch, but Arky stepping up, showing why he too is a name to watch out for and why this Mount Albert team, they went to the grand final last year, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, this is a top level team right now, and they're still showing why. Yes, they did drop to Westlake earlier in the season, but it looks like they're bouncing back off of that loss quite strongly, getting some, pseudo revenge against the other Westlake team. And yes, I do think Westlake can fight back. They do have, the talent to do so. But at that same token, I feel as if Mount Albert is rising to a level that we haven't seen them play at yet. Like, this is the best Mount Albert I've seen, including last year's finalist team, including what we saw earlier in the season. Like, this is them almost at their peak, and I don't know if Westlake can catch it.
Yeah, if they continue on their peak, it is going to be very, very hard for Westlake to catch up here. We've just had the server go down once again here. It is things happening to us once again, but we should be back into the action very shortly. Players are already rejoining us here, and everyone's already back into the lobby, so that's good to see. Also on the field. So as we get ready for a third here, Westlake looking to try and pull off the impossible. Meanwhile, for Mount Albert, they'll be looking to try and move on to 4-1 to try and catch up to the other Westlake team, who are currently the only undefeated squad in the New Zealand bracket. Anyways, the lights are already out and they're underway for the third here. Noom is looking for an early opportunity, but can't get the pinch play this time around after he's able to pick up the ball early on. And it's just going to be a replay of his goal in the last. No, it's not. Will be quickly nipped in the bud. And in the early moments of this game, pretty much back and forward.
Yeah, it's again a little bit of a feeling out right now. I have noticed Westlake are playing a bit more aggressively in their field posturing and positioning. They're stepping forward. They're willing to challenge a bit more. However, they have to fall back for Apple Crash. Throws in the flick, not able to connect. And this could be a good counterattack right now. Subi looks for the pass. No, hesitated too long. That's okay. Noom is there. Cannot get it into the goal.
Just gets stopped by Apple Crash's Elastic. Oh, it feels only a couple units down. That would have been a marvelous goal. Subi as well going for another chance, but just can't get it past Apple Crash, who is flying in the fence at the moment. Subi gets another opportunity, but he will send that one well wide of the mark and into the corner. But here comes Listic, sends something up on the backboard. But where is Numi? He's nowhere to be found, probably finding some boost. He actually whiffs the ball as well, so the reset comes through. Listic with a whiff as well, and Apple Crash, he has a goal opportunity. Noom, though, is able to just get back in time with the save. And now Listic tries to push forward, will get demoed for his troubles. And now Noom and Subi have to try and clear it out, will be able to, and they survive what could have been a very disastrous few moments there.
Yeah, that was an intense back and forth exchange, really, but more whiffs. More and more whiffs right now coming from Westlake, and it's starting to look very similar to game number one. You cannot afford to be doing this, not against talent like Mount Albert, and I kind of feel like it's a matter of time before one of these whiffs are going to cost them unless they clean up their play.
Yeah, whiffing harder than an NA Counter-Strike player in a clutch situation here as 2 minutes already gone. Both teams, well, they're struggling to connect to the ball here. Apple Crash though goes for a flip reset play, sets it up for a double commit. Arky, nearly dribbles it in, but Listic with the save just keeps his team on a clean sheet once again. But here comes Apple Crash, links it to his teammate. Now that is a beautiful bait. Arky with the goal. And it will be Mount Albert finally getting the first in game 3.
Apple Crash played that so patiently. He saw the double commit before and just hung back at the mid-pitch waiting for what happened, which was sort of an awkward touch coming from the Westlake side. Sets it up on very little boost, knows that he can't take the shot, but he can go for the fake. Arky, who's been playing phenomenally right behind him, gets that go-ahead goal. That was absolutely fantastic, intelligent, and patient play from the Mount Albert side. That said, Noom in a Subaru is able to answer right on back, and once more we are tied.
It's a good goal. The name, we'll leave that up to the chat, but yeah, that was a good play from Noom just to sneak it in under the guise of the defender who was only there maybe even a fraction of a second earlier would have pinched it away. So we're tied up here at the halfway point once again. But can Westlake's keep it together this time around? Subi with the shot, and Noom just can't get the follow-up play here. Apple Crash won't win this 50-50 this time around, however, and now Subi has an opportunity, but here comes Arky! Beautiful opportunity, beautiful shot, and a beautiful goal to get Mount Albert back in the lead.
The speed and the spacing from Mount Albert was excellent on that play right there. They were playing very tight near each other because they were aware when going for a solo play, and based on what they've seen before, Westlake haven't been able to get solid touches off of 50-50 plays. So you stay tight, you stay snug, you make that quick reflex play, you can find a good touch. The third touch right there was the golden one. That was the one that got the goal. Great read, great team play, and another goal dark play. Listic able to get the crossbar and make the save.
What a save from Listic there. That is unbelievable. That was in for all money. But no, Listic says not this time around and will keep his team with only a 1-goal deficit. Now they're back on the attacking. Noom sets it up in front of the goal. Apple Crash gets bumped. The ball still hovering around and Noom actually punts it away here. They're looking to try and reset the play up once again as Listic tries to find a backboard. Won't be able to, not enough speed. Apple Crash will get a touch, but Noom in the perfect spot here, goes for a low shot. Arky doesn't get baited out, keeps to the ground and punts it away. Subi now can only disrupt Arky as they're forced to scramble back into defense here. Westlake, Apple Crash sets it up for his teammates once again, but this time around, after reached a bit too far away for the opportunity. 80 seconds remaining here on the clock. Mount Albert still just in the lead here as Arky tries to set up another goal, but Noom is able to tap it away here. Apple Crash for a shot a little bit too high and wide, and Dastry tries to lock it in, but won't be able to do so for too long, as here comes the counter from Westlakes.
Yeah, so Westlake immediately, they've improved their defense. I'm worried it's a little bit too late, but they're going for passes to the middle of the pitch, and it's actually succeeding more often than not. Subi, a chance right now. Great defensive effort by Arky, who has definitely risen to that next level. He'll even get the clear down the middle as well. Listic tries to take the ball to the corner, but that's a whiff. Arky with the shot, that's going to go in. Listic, that whiff cost him big.
Massive whip once again from two players, really. Listic and Subi misses the ball. Noom, he gets a touch, but it's well too late. Arky sets himself up for yet another goal. And this could be how the cookie crumbles here for Westlakes. Two important whiffs, and they're now down by 2.
Yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, whiffs kind of have been the story for Westlake in this game. Speed-wise, they've kept up. Strategy-wise, yeah, they've looked pretty good. They've adapted, but awkward whiffs at crucial situations have allowed one too many goals against them, or in this case, you should say two too many goals, as they are down by 2 points. I digress. Mount Albert, that more consistent team, is going to get the win here today. But Westlake, a very strong team. I think against 90% of the competition, they would come out on top. Just a couple unforced errors, unfortunately, spell disaster for them.
Yeah, unforced errors come out and they quickly get taken down as Noob nearly gives himself an own goal there, but as the timer runs out, Listic will look to try and drop the ball. A player's already gone, that being Sabi, but what we know for sure is that consistency was key, and for Mount Albert, they will head to 4-1 now as they look to try and continue their push back to the Nationals.
Yeah, absolutely. A great win from this Mount Albert side. A reason why they're one of the best. That level of gameplay, that speed was very hard to match, and credit where credit is due. Westlake, yes, they lost 3-0, but those are three very close and very interesting games. It wasn't a case of they got completely outclassed. It was honestly just a couple unforced errors that really were the difference in that series. Not to mention, Mount Albert at times, they did have that sort of X factor, those solo plays. That ground pinch from Darth Druby kind of highlighted that. Apple crashed, with some of his solo plays where he's able to dribble it down. Those things you can't really account for a lot of the time when your opponent is going to pull off something like that. But if we're looking at the teams and how they matched up, very evenly matched, just Mount Albert were the better on the day.
More consistent, the team with less whiffs. Mount Albert, as you said, the better team on the day. They move to 4-1 now as Westlake's Red move down to 3-2. But still a couple more weeks left here in the Meta High School League. And, well, for both teams, plenty more opportunities to continue to push into playoffs and maybe most of all, national championship stage. But for now, at the very least, we are going to be going for a fairly extended break. We'll be back at 5 o'clock for our Australia game this afternoon. We're not sure where it is just yet, but as soon as we do know, well, we'll find out. But until then, I've been Chris the Average, joined by Max Formal, and we'll catch you guys in about 90 minutes time for our second of the afternoon.